Welcome, welcome, welcome. Under the Rug. We are on episode 6 now. And I have a celebrity for the first time in the building. A big celebrity. My Androstrian friend. And most of you probably wondering, what the hell is an Androstrian? Well, that's when you have a Austrian man who comes to the Bahamas and gets hooked by an Andros woman. And we know how Andros women go. There's hook plenty man. And then you have, when they come together, you make Mrs. Baha Yogi, Alexandra Fox. How are you this evening?
I'm great. I'm wonderful.
Awesome. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Like, you know, your husband has been on a few times.
Yes, and, this is my first time.
Yes, and you guys ran away from the gun town. You all get scared in Nassau and had to move to the island. And you've moved to Abaco. Mm-hmm. How is that working out so far? How do you...
Amazing. I love it. Like, I can't be in Nassau for too long. Abaco is like the perfect mix of like island life and city life.
So you gone to Abaco and you done switch. You don't forget your Nassauvian roots now.
Oh, yeah.
You like island people. You don't even want to be in Nassau for long when you come
and
here.
y'all Nassau people don't come Abaco.
Oh, jeez, God. Oh, God. Already. Well, I decided to reach out to you. I heard you were coming in town, and it just happened that it came at a time where I saw you made a post on Facebook. And I found it extremely interesting. And I mean, we know how the internet goes. It's filled with trolls and a bunch of crazy people.
Yes.
Or at least people that pretend to be crazy online. Mm-hmm. And you made a post about something that a man said on your Instagram page.
Yes.
And it kind of blew me away. And it was all over the place. I was confused. I was angry.
It was all over the place. It really was.
Could you please let the people in on exactly what this young gentleman had to say to you on one of your pictures? And for those of you that don't know, Alex does yoga, and she's always on the beach in them two-piece bikini. I know a lot of y'all are stalker page now, so y'all know just what I'm talking about. But it was under a post with her, doing her poses on the beach. And please let us know what this man decided to say to you.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to have to get out of this, so my live is going to cut off. But yeah, no, basically what he did was he went under, I don't know this guy actually, but he went under one of my pictures and he decided to leave a comment. Mm-hmm. And the comment was, hold on. But like I felt really good because like when I posted it, I really wasn't expecting the
outpouring of support.
Yeah, the outpouring of support that I got under the status.
Well, that just goes to show you that all is not completely lost.
Exactly.
And you just have a few fringe idiots that just decide to, for whatever reason, the internet seems to give them some sort of special power, and they decide to get brave and post the most ridiculous things they could think of.
Exactly. And I think what they called them keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors.
Yes, because they feel like they're untouchable based on what they can say behind the scenes. Okay, so I have a picture on my Instagram that basically shows the transformation from when I first started to now, and it was in a forward wheel. So the guy whose Instagram name is clam_juice. Clam_juice. If you want to go find him on Instagram, please go and report him. A lot of people have. He probably doesn't even have an Instagram by now. But anyways, he says, and I quote, "Damn, these sluts are flexible. I would love to have sex with the bottom chick in that position. Look at that tattoo. It's so demeaning and hot, and her father would be so disappointed if he already isn't."
So demeaning and hot. Yes. You see what I'm saying? It's confusing.
It's all over the place. And I think what irritates me even more is that he doesn't even know that those are the same person.
That's what I was about to say, because he said he would like to do whatever to the person on the bottom, as though it's two different people.
I guess maybe I look better now than I did then or something. But
maybe. And I didn't get, I think what I saw was, I think in the screenshot that I saw, I think the top was kind of cut off.
Yeah.
So I only saw the bottom picture. So I don't even know, I can't even say why he would think it was two different people.
Because he's stupid.
But just fill us in on how many of these messages would you say you get, let's say on a weekly basis?
Well, they differ. The bad ones, like these ones, I don't get them as often, but I do get a lot of comments, a lot of DMs that are very forward.
Yeah, we can get into those.
Yes.
I'm interested in those.
Very forward. So, I mean, every so often, like in the past, to be honest, I've actually had more women say negative things under my pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I see like an outpouring of support from women. Like, it's a lot of women that are fans.
Now I have a lot of support from women, but I also have a lot of negative things, I guess, that women would say under my pictures based on the fact that I'm wearing a bikini.
Well, let us know. What are some of the things they say?
Just, the regular whore, slut, hoe, Instagram hoe, whatever. Like
Instagram.
I mean, but what confuses me is just like, what am I supposed to wear on the beach?
Exactly. You're doing yoga on the beach. Do they want you to come out in a flower dress, in a wedding dress, in a pantsuit?
I guess. Maybe I'm supposed to cover my entire body.
I don't know. So that's another thing, because we actually supposed to be speaking about misogyny, but I mean, well, we touched on the last podcast. We touched on I don't want to say slut shaming because I don't like that name. But
it is that is what it is.
But it sounds so negative to me. You know what I mean?
It sounds negative, but
like you're calling the person a slut, and
but I mean,
it's confusing to me that particular title.
I guess it depends on how you feel about the word slut. Like if you take it with a negative connotation.
Yeah. And most people do, which is why it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, so I guess that's why it probably makes people feel bad, but
right.
But there is a huge thing with slut shaming.
Yeah, I know.
In this day and age, but not even just for men, like women. Mm-hmm. Oh
and
my gosh.
And that's what we were breaking down on the last one. It's like people are so quick to call other people sluts or hoes, and so what we did was we broke down the word. We looked up the definition of the word, right? And according to the definition, it seems as though that most people in this country are sluts or hoes. According to the definition.
And there's nothing wrong with being.
And that's fine.
There's nothing wrong.
But my thing is, people are so quick to use this word and throw it out and call people this word, and they don't have a clue of this person's sexual history or anything that this person has done, and they're so quick to just call them a hoe when they may be more of a hoe than them.
Yeah.
So I guess it just goes to our low self-esteem in this country.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with... I find that I always put out, especially on my Instagram, just accept who you are. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to be who you want to be or who you feel that you are. Because a lot of times people feel a lot of limitations. Like you can't express yourself because people will say negative things or people will do negative things or maybe people won't want to be your friend or whatever.
Right.
But I think that hits a soft spot for people who don't have the ambition or the nerve to accept themselves for who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
So there is a lot of insecurity, a lot of low self-esteem out there, and instead of fixing themselves, they tend to attack other people. You're like, they look and say, okay, you can do it, so let me attack you instead of working on myself.
Exactly. And that's what's wrong with the world right now.
Yeah.
People are too quick to attack instead of fixing the problem that comes from within them. And now let's get back to the men. Now you said you get some very interesting inbox messages.
Oh yeah,
Fill us in on what the inbox looks like, because you got a lot of followers on Instagram and you have some nice pictures on the beach in a 2-piece bikini. So please let us know what are some of the things that not only men but women too. I mean, I'm sure it's not just from men. You get some interesting messages.
Okay, well, I get a lot of dick pics. I'm just gonna put that out there. I get a lot, and
now you think these are real, or you think these are the Google ones that they stole?
I don't know.
Took from porn sites and put up.
What I do know is I don't want to see them.
Exactly.
But then they say, "Oh, well, you're asking for it."
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Like they say, "Oh, well, you're the one putting those pictures out there." I'm like,
so automatically, if a woman is on the beach in a bathing suit, she wants some penis.
Yeah.
Automatically. This is incredible.
How the internet thinks.
Why did no one ever tell me this?
Well, now you know. Now you know.
That's incredible. Having a bathing suit on the beach means you want my penis.
I'd say on average, I probably get like 5 dick pics a day.
God.
That's in between Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat.
No,
Snapchat
man.
is like dick pic mecca.
No, man. You exaggerate, man.
I swear. I kid you not.
I
kid you not. But now I see that a lot of women, what they're doing is they're screenshotting the dick pics and they're sending them to like the guy's mothers or their girlfriends or wives.
That's interesting. How do they get the guy's mothers or wives contact?
It's the internet.
That's
Women are great detectives.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. Yes.
So,
take back that question.
But surprisingly, a lot of women say that when they send the pictures, they get responses back from whoever they send them slut shaming. They're like, oh, well, you deserved it. You slut. You shouldn't have your pictures up there like that. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. I'm just like, whoa.
Do you think the remarks that you get are from, this Instagram era where you do have women that, just post revealing pictures of themselves just all the time? Do you think you fall into the category because of these women that just post the revealing pictures just for posting revealing pictures' sake, and they just lump you into that category because...
I don't think that there are any categories, really.
Okay.
I think whatever I want to fucking post, I'll post.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't post because I want people to say, ooh, look at her body, or ooh, damn, she's flexible, I want to fuck her. Like, no.
Right.
Like, I post because I just love what I do.
Right.
And even when it comes to women who may post because they feel sexy, or maybe it's their job, maybe they're a cam girl or something like that, so fucking what? I don't think that means that she needs a picture of your dick in her inbox.
I could agree with you on that.
You see what I'm saying? I think a lot of people kind of think that the things that women do, they do it because of men, or they do it because they want the attention or whatever. And
but I think you do have some that
you may have some, but I don't think that warrants negative feedback.
No. Yeah, we could agree on that.
You know what
but
I mean?
I'm sure you do have some attention grabbers out there that do it just for that
I'll
reaction.
be honest. Every so often, I'll be like, "Fuck, that's a very sexy picture. I'm gonna put that up." And yeah, it's cool to get attention. It helps your ego or whatever.
Right.
But I don't think anything of that sort should warrant the type of comments that women get.
Yeah, it's
or
really
the type
ridiculous.
of reaction, like I don't think that calls for that at all.
Yeah, I agree. It's really ridiculous, and we live in a society where I think it seems as though we're going backwards on so many things, especially when it comes to men objectifying women.
Oh God!
Like they just see them as just sexual beings, just simply put here for pleasure.
And I think that all people are scared when women own their sexuality.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things that pisses me off. Like, it is the worst thing for a woman to be confident with her sexuality. It is the worst thing for a woman to say, hey, I don't want a relationship, let's just have sex.
Right.
Then it's just like, oh shit, she gets a label.
Right. Of course.
You know what I mean?
And the worst one at that.
Exactly. And the thing is just like, why can't I just love sex?
Right.
Like that doesn't make me a bad person. And like, unless I'm hurting someone, I'm not hurting anyone. Like, it's consensual. What's the big deal? And I think that in this day and age, we have more women standing up for themselves. More women that are saying, hey, I don't need a long-term relationship. I don't need to have kids, or I don't need to have a monogamous relationship. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you have women that are standing up for themselves, and I think to some men, they feel inadequate. And maybe even some women, especially, because maybe they don't have the ambition or the drive to say, hey, this is actually what I want, and let me go out and do it. You know what I mean? And I feel that as women, we should really take every opportunity we get to just own our fucking personalities, just own who you are, and just be you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I try to embody on my Instagram.
Right.
I try.
And unfortunately, we have some myopic people who just have this box that they like to place people in. They just have boxes. See, they can't fathom someone being free and being outside of the norm or what they're used to. They can't fathom someone being free with their sexuality. They can't fathom. It's like, no, that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's just supposed to be in this compartment. You're supposed to be in this box. You're supposed to go down this road. But then the thing is, a lot of these people only do these things, in front of in public, like behind the scenes, people do some grimy stuff.
Exactly.
They do some grimy stuff because like we spoke about open relationships as opposed to monogamy.
I know.
And because I just find it crazy how we so openly accept this culture of cheating, sweetheart, and whatever you want to call it, but then we would look down on people that are in open relationships that choose to take the honest route and say, well, look here,
and you would be surprised how many relationships could be saved with just openly saying, hey, let's have an open relationship. The communication that comes with it, the trust that comes with it, like it could save so many relationships.
I agree.
Because a lot of times you have the woman and the man be cheating.
Exactly.
And it's just like,
exactly.
If we just came to an agreement and said, hey, you know what, I love you, but when I see other women, I'm attracted to them.
Right.
Or even like in a lot of women cases, I find, hey, I love you, but I'm actually bisexual. And I want to have a next partner or something like that. If
well, I don't think many men would argue with that one.
No. You would actually be surprised.
Really?
You have a lot of men out there that feel threatened if their woman is bisexual because they feel as if like that makes them less of a man.
Really?
Yeah, and that just goes into self-esteem issues as well.
That's interesting. I would think they would be on board for that one.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that's true. But well, let me put it like this. I think it's our culture and tradition that has us in this misogynistic way of thinking. Because I can admit, to a large degree, I too had, certain, thoughts when it comes to a woman's sexuality and, partners and stuff like that, and what she should be wearing and stuff like that. Like, I had it too. It's just a matter of stepping outside of that and opening your mind. Maturing. But a lot of people can't seem to get outside of the tradition. We want to hold on to the tradition for whatever reason, just because it's been the way it's been done. So I am trying to get men to realize that there's nothing wrong with a woman that has multiple sex partners. It's like I said, come on. If you are a grown man, let's say you in your 25, 30, 35, whatever age, and your woman is in that age range, chances are she's been with quite a few guys in our society. You're not getting a virgin.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. So I don't see why they feel like it's an issue when we should come to the realization that we are sexual beings.
Yeah, and if that was so easy, then
but it is. I think it is. It's just a mindset.
No, you have to understand. In this country, we have a huge, huge, huge deal with being able to express yourselves, especially when it comes to the men that we have in this country. For instance, if you're a gay man, you have to hide that. And that in itself leads to, okay, well, I got to make sure my mommy happy, so I could end up marrying some girl, and then I could end up scheming on the side because I can't express myself. Same thing with all these dudes freaking jicking up people over stepping on their Jordans or touching their gal weave or whatever. It's because they can't express themselves. They have to be this macho man figure that has to, not have feelings, not be smart, like not have any kind of common sense or intelligence. It's just it's just stupid force that they have to have. And the same goes with being a woman. With being a woman over here, you're kind of pushed into this box that you're just supposed to, cook, be quiet,
clean,
get married, have babies, and just get fat. Like,
but no, you can't get fat now.
No, but that's like a thing now. Like people even say to me, it's just like, hold on, why are you finding time to have a nice body and you married?
Who said that?
You would be surprised.
So the women saying, let's
they're just like, oh, no.
You married, what you doing?
Something wrong. You married and you have children. Why your body look like this? I'm like...
That's interesting. I never knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Because because on the other side, on the man side of it, man don't want the woman to get big. Now, mind you, a Bahamian man can get as big as he want to get. But his woman's supposed to stay within at least a reasonable size.
Yeah, but if you look at, to be honest, if you look at the majority of our population, they're not really the fittest.
You could say it. We's a fat nation. You ain't got sugarcoat it. We's a fat nation. We got plenty fat people around here.
Yeah, but I think he's like, yeah,
we's a fat nation. I mean, you ain't got to coat it.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that just comes down to the fact that we just can't express ourselves. Like there's so many limitations given like upon us as a country. Like you can't be open with your sexuality. You can't be open with your religion. You can't be open with the fact if you're educated or not. Like you're put down. Like you always have to stay on a certain level.
Right.
And I realize that when you have people that step above that level, that's when it's just like, okay, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, I get it all the time. I love it. And that's why I would say, I wouldn't say that you can't, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
In our society, you would be marginalized, you would be berated, you would be spoken to in the worst way possible simply because you are outside of the norm.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get people to be okay with being different and feeling different. You know what I mean? It's okay. And I guess it takes a really strong-minded person to be able to go through, you know, all of the criticism that you're going to receive when you decide to step out, because it's taken a while. I've felt this way for quite some time, but I had to get to this point in my life now where I could openly say, yeah, this is who I am. This is what I believe. This is it. And I guess most people don't ever get to that point to where they feel comfortable enough to come out and say that this is how I feel about this. Because of the pressures, peer pressure is a real thing.
Yeah, because it is a serious thing.
And it's not just, people make it seem as though peer pressure is something with adolescents, but it's like throughout the entire life, peer pressure plays a huge role.
I think, like, for me especially, I think that, like, that's what I really, really thank my mother for, because when she decided to send me off to boarding school, that was like her best decision ever.
Oh, you went to boarding school?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
To myself, I always think, like, if I had stayed here, I don't even know where I would have ended up. Like, because what
was it that was what was getting to you about being here that you feeling?
When I was in school over here, I was getting in with the wrong crowd, number one. And I always was an extremely, extremely smart student, but going to the school that I went to, I was, in a sense, not dumbed down, but I had a lot of questions about my classes that just were never answered. So since the work, in a sense, was too easy and it wasn't stimulating enough, I started just not even focusing, just not even caring, like just passing because I'm passing, whatever. Not that I got bad grades. I mean, I still got like B's or whatever.
Right.
But just I wasn't focused. My mind wasn't stimulated. And then I started hanging out with the wrong people, sneaking out of the house, doing all kind of stupidness. And then my mom was just like, okay, look, you're going to have to go to boarding school. And I was just like, hell yeah.
Oh, you were happy?
Oh, I was excited.
Wow. So what was her reaction when she saw that you were actually happy that she was sending you to boarding school?
She was glad, because she was just like, good. Like, she thought it was going to be hard, but I'm like, no, please send me, because I was looking for a way out.
Right.
I kind of felt like all of the things that I was doing was just kind of like, please help me, get me out of here. But I every day, I thank her for sending me off to school, because it took me out of the rut that I was being put in here as an adolescent, young woman in the Bahamas. You're kind of, especially being bright skinned.
Yeah, I was about to say with light skin, kinky hair.
Yeah, light skin, curly hair, curvy girl. Yeah, no, you get guided down a path that you're supposed to be, you know, the hot gal. You know, you're supposed to be the girl that friends with all the boys and all of that stuff. And that's just something that I feel like they put on a lot of girls now. And there's this pressure to just be someone for everyone else instead of being who you are.
Right.
And I feel that a lot of girls right now are falling into that category where they're just doing it because everybody else likes it. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that, you know, like, if you are a hot girl and you like to have a lot of sex, it's bad. It's not. If that's what you want to do, that's totally fine. Just make sure you protect yourself, make sure it's consensual, make sure you're not doing anything illegal, and just go for it. Enjoy yourself, experience whatever you want to experience. But for me, I find that growing up as a young woman over here, you're guided into this area where you have to grow up very fast. And that's definitely one of the things I'm realizing is an issue here in this country.
Okay, let's go back to the misogyny, right? Where do you think it stems from? Like this where men are so quick to just...
Psychologically speaking, misogyny stems from hatred for your mother or for any kind of female you had in your past, psychologically speaking.
Really?
Yeah.
Hatred for your mother
or any kind of dominant female that you had in your past.
But I don't think that's the only...
That's what they say. But
yeah,
I mean,
I know a lot of, well...
Because like when you really look at what misogyny is, like you basically have a caste system where women are below men. So you don't respect women, you don't trust women, you basically believe that women are lesser than you.
Well, you know where I believe that come from.
Where? The B word, the Bible. Well, it also comes from religion. Yeah, it does. It does. But religion sugarcoats it by saying, "Oh no, we're protecting the women."
Well, I wouldn't say it sugarcoats it because I think. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm no biblical scholar. However, I did grow up in the church because we call ourselves a Christian nation, although we know this is a church nation. So I grew up in the system. And I've read some verses. Yeah. And there are some that are not so nice when it comes to women. And you hear these men all the time because I listen to a lot of talk shows. And when I hear them speak about women, I just have to, put my hands on my head and be like, where do these dudes come from? It's like they blame women for like women are the reason that the earth is the way it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's Eve eat the apple and she destroy all us.
Yeah,
and they speak about childbearing as that's your punishment. And I'm like, what the hell?
Menstrual cycles, punishment, everything is punishment.
So I feel that's where misogyny in terms of the Bahamas stems from.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a part of it. But I mean, you also have to look at how most males are brought up in this country as well too. A lot of them they don't really have a sense of respect for their mother as well too, because the mother's job in most Bahamian households is to just cook, clean, and actually no, I take that.
You know what? Because I was going to say, I think I disagree. Yeah. Because Bahamian men, from my experience, they have, in most cases, the utmost respect for their mother. I mean, the highest amount of respect for their mother, and it's a insane level of hypocrisy and double standards because the way they would speak about other women. They would never want anyone to speak about their mother. Yeah, that's true. Their mother is like sacred grounds. Don't even think about saying nothing crazy about my mother. Even if their mother is someone who had what we would consider a checkered past or had done some things in the past. They don't want to acknowledge those things, and they would never call their mother a hoe or a slut or say anything negative about their mother. However, they are quick to throw it on somebody else. Yeah. And they don't even have to know the person they're throwing it on or even know it to be true. So it's I don't know.
I think it's probably because it's just women that step outside the box. I think that's just what it is. Because I mean, if you have most Bahamian men that grow up with a mother that cooks for them, cleans for them, does everything for them, and then you have a woman who basically just owns her freaking herself, that just does whatever she wants, that if she wants to post up a sexy pic, she'll post up a sexy pic. I think that's just getting at something that's not normal for them, and it's not normal over here. Like any kind of woman who dresses what they would call, I guess, skimpy or with not a lot of
shorts and they breast
they doing it because they want the attention. It's never a case, well, maybe that's just what she wanted to wear. You know what I mean? And I've had guys say that, like I've seen on Facebook, they've like, oh, well, if girls wasn't wearing that, she wouldn't get rape or things like that.
Oh boy.
And that pisses me off.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, the victim shaming or victim blaming.
Yeah.
That they call it. It's ridiculous. But because they never seem to blame the rapist.
Yeah, no.
Oddly enough.
No, it's because they're just guided by clothing.
Yeah, because they would ask, well, what you was wearing?
What were you wearing?
Yeah. Because it's like if somebody was to hear something that happened to you, well, she's be in bathing suit on the beach.
I know you'd be.
Shouldn't have that
I've
on.
had a guy tell me that, like, because I forget, like, I was complaining. I was like, man, these dudes send me so much dick pics, and he's just like, oh, what do you expect? You put those pictures on Instagram. I'm like, wait, excuse me, what the fuck did you just say?
And it's like, I don't get it. Is you wearing a bathing suit?
Oh yeah,
on the beach. So now women can't wear bathing suits on the beach.
And they're just like, oh, it's because of your body type. And I'm like, because I'm curvy. It's just like, oh yeah, your body type is just so sexual, And I'm just like, so you're making it sexual.
Who's supposed to? Okay, so who's allowed to wear a bathing suit according to them?
I guess only skinny chicks.
I see them complaining about
big
really
women.
big girls wearing bathing suit. Okay,
exactly.
They're not supposed to wear it. A curvy woman isn't supposed to wear it. So it's just the typical slim Sports Illustrated model that's supposed to be wearing it.
Yep, pretty much.
And another thing, speaking of Sports Illustrated, I think, and it was an odd thing, I was driving down the street one time and I realized race has a lot, well, let me not say race, color, because there's only one race, it's a human race. I hate this race foolishness, but color has a lot to do with it too, We mentally, we're messed up because, and I'm guilty of it too. I'll mash my own corn. You would see a black girl and some, like if her bongy cheeks hanging out the bottom of her jeans, you would be like, you think this girl, why she had to be wearing that? But if a white girl have a bongy cheeks hanging out, you say, oh, look at this white girl, she got a bongy out. Like the reaction is different. So I think it even goes into color. It's like we're so messed up psychologically.
Yeah.
And it's for the simplest and stupidest things most times.
It's even like touching on that a little bit more, like it is crazy how there is a color thing with it too. Because even like for instance, when I was in boarding school, we had these like really short shorts, and like the Asian girls used to wear them all the time. No big deal.
No, we know Asian girls ain't got no bungie now, Alex. Ain't got that much bungie.
When I put them on, they're just like, oh no, you're gonna have to change. It's like, why? Like, she gets to wear them.
Right.
Oh, no. See, it just looks different on your body type, and it just looks a little too sexualized. I'm like, what? They're the same pair of pants. Oh, well, you just because you fill them out a little bit more. And I'm just like, okay, come on. Are you serious right now? And things like that have happened to me my whole life. Like, I would wear a dress, and, oh, gosh, you look a little too sexy. But someone else who's wearing the same dress, like, oh, that's cute. You look professional.
Are these men or women that are saying this
Women.
to you? Okay, I thought so, because I was about to say, I don't know much of men.
Always women, yeah.
Okay.
Women are just like, oh, well, I've had women tell me, like, well, you just have that sexy look. Like, you just...
You think there's some jealousy in there? Or a bit of envy? You could be honest.
Envy, I guess. Probably. But I mean... I feel that everybody should just love their bodies for what they are. Like, I mean, sometimes I guess I try to look like athletic and cute. Like, I don't always, like, I guess people have this whole idea of me that I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, yep, I'm just gonna steal some men today. Like,
well, I think, you know what I think that is? It goes back to, like, there are some women that do that. Have that agenda. Yeah. And I think this is a case where the innocent is suffering for the guilty, as they say.
Yeah.
Because you do have, I don't know the amount, but I think you have a good amount of women that are actually doing it for that purpose.
Yeah.
They just tend to lump all of you in that category. And it's just a matter of you suffering, for it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right, but I think that's what's happening. And speaking of misogyny, in this case, it seems as though it's not just when it comes to men. It's not just men, but it seems to be that a lot of women, or even more so, may be responsible for the misogyny that we see in this town, because they champion, the feelings of the men that put the women down and look at them as objects.
Definitely. And there's even like a case of it like in the media now. I find like you have this whole like battle between like women, I guess like Amber Rose, and then women like the Steph Curry's wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who like they're like, oh well, she's like, oh, you're supposed to be modest, and Amber was just like, no, you're just supposed to be yourself.
Right.
Like if I want to post a naked selfie, then I can do that.
Right.
And I kind of feel like, not to say anything bad about like women who want to be modest, like that there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like people need to realize that nudity empowers some women, modesty empowers others. Like different things empower different women, and it's not your right to say what should empower me. You know what I mean? And that as men or as women, like I think that women that go out there and say, oh, look at that woman wearing that short skirt, she obviously, has daddy issues, or she obviously has this, or if a woman who is a stripper or whatever says, oh, look at that woman all covered up, she obviously is a virgin or something like that. Like I think it goes both ways. Like you should just allow whoever to be whoever they want. Like if one day I want to completely cover up and wear a big old baggy sweatshirt and some baggy pants, that's totally fine. The next day I want to wear some nipple pasties and a thong, that's totally fine.
Lord, I can imagine the inbox after you do that. Because boy, if you getting what you've been getting just off a bathing suit, Lord, don't do that. Trust me, don't do that.
I just feel as if that we just always have to have sides, and those sides just perpetuate more issues. You know what I mean? Because that means you have to choose. That means that, oh, if you want to be an Amber Rose, then you can't be a what's her name? Steph Curry's wife?
Aisha? I think Aisha Curry.
Then you can't be Aisha Curry. You know what I mean? So it's just like you can be both, and that's totally fine. Or if you're one or the other, that's totally fine. Like there shouldn't be shaming of any type of woman. Like a woman is powerful because she is a woman. You know what I mean? And I feel that if we came together as women to support each other rather than beating each other down, we would actually get somewhere.
Yeah, and I think personally, I think that's the main reason we're experiencing these issues is because the women beat up on each other.
Oh my gosh, all the time.
Like you wouldn't believe. I think even more so than men in a lot of cases.
And the thing is, like, I understand, like, I've done it as well. Like, and the thing is, when you take a step back and realize why you do it, it's just because you're feeling insecure.
Exactly.
And that's just what it is. Exactly. At some points in my life, I felt insecure, or I felt envious or jealous.
Right.
I feel that also that women in this day and age are kind of being encouraged to compare, and that comparison is a thief of joy. Like there's no wrong way to say it. Like that's just what it is. Like when you begin to compare yourself to other people, you lessen your value.
Yeah. And instead of comparing, I wish everyone would just appreciate the differences that we have and embrace them, as opposed to criticizing and putting people down for them.
Exactly. And I feel like that would just make stronger women, because even like when I have like people come to me on Instagram all the time, they're like, oh, I wish I had your body. I wish I had this. I wish I could live where you live. And I'm just like, no, like work on what you have. Like, don't spend your days focusing on, oh, I want to be like her. No, you have an amazing foundation that you have to yourself. Like, just work on that and make it into something that you love. Right. Like, everyone has the ability to make whatever they want, you know? Like, you choose what you bring forward.
Yeah, because like I tell people all the time, everyone has talents.
Exactly.
Everybody is talented at something. And they may not know outright what it is or be able to pinpoint, but everybody has a gift, and people's gifts are different. You understand? Everyone has a different gift. But people feel as though, well, if I can't do this, like I hear all the time, people say when they refer to Kim Kardashian, oh, she ain't got no talent. There's no talent, girl, no talent. But you sitting home, with no unemployed. But I mean, not anything against people that are unemployed, but there's not much going for you right now at this point in your life. And I guess maybe that's why you are launching these attacks at her, because you feel, because of your low self-esteem and at this low point you're at, the only thing that's going to make you feel better about yourself is to attack somebody else.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's what happens with okay, just to add on to that, what happens to what makes it even worse is that the women kind of fuel the men as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because they say, oh crap, my husband's looking at Kim Kardashian's pictures and, you know, he thinks that's hot, because deep down she knows it's hot, like, it's sexy.
Yeah.
So she'll just be like,
she finds it sexy.
Yeah, she'll be like, oh, you looking at that whore's picture, you know, she's a slut, she's a this, she's not smart, she doesn't have anything going for her, and that just kind of keeps the cycle going. Like, maybe the guy may have just thought, oh, this is cool, you know, Kim's putting it out, she has a nice body, whatever, but no, now it's ingrained in his mind, okay, women that do that, they're whores. Or,
it don't even have to be Kim Kardashian, because I mean,
or anyone.
If we driving on the road and you see one nice shaped gal,
exactly, the gal be like, oh,
gal.
are you looking at her? She's a bad gal, you know.
Boy, look at her. She don't even have to she don't even have to care whether she's a bad gal or not.
I hear back in the day she used to do this and she used to do that. Like, come on.
Like, come on, we're human beings.
Come on.
We attracted to people. It's not that you want to go and pursue anything.
Exactly, and there's nothing wrong with just saying, hey, that's an attractive person. You know what I mean?
And this is what I wanted to ask. Is it wrong for, let's say, a man going through your page and just admiring these pictures, but we know what he admiring about the pictures? Is that admiration in itself wrong, or does it cross the line when you get like homeboy with that ridiculous message? Is the admiration fine? Like, if I driving down the car and there's a girl in this nice outfit, and I just be like, what the flip, she look good, eh? Is that bad?
There's
in your
nothing
eyes,
wrong with that.
Okay, because some people would feel like, oh, you want to see me as an object or a sexual?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm sure, okay, I have a lot of followers.
Right.
I'm sure the majority of those followers aren't there because they like yoga.
Or they like the beach.
Or they like the beach.
Or the dog.
Or they like my dog in the background.
Exactly.
I'm sure. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're looking at my pictures because you find me attractive, totally fine. But when you take it upon yourself to make choices for me and say that, oh, because she's in this picture, she obviously wants, you know, suggestive emails, then that's when it's just like, okay, hold on, take a step back. Like, if you want to enjoy it for yourself, go right ahead. It's on the internet. I'm putting it there.
Right.
So, yeah, obviously you're going to see it. If you like it, you like it. But don't take it upon yourself to make decisions for me that, you know, I want something for you, or to even make assumptions about who I am as a person. And I think that's what irritates me the most, is because you have these keyboard warriors that go and type under these like women's profiles, but you don't know what that woman's going through. Right. Like, you don't know if she's depressed. Right. You don't know if she has anxiety issues. You don't know if she has an eating disorder. You don't know what she's going through. You don't know if she had a long day at work and that one comment just pushes her over the edge. Like, you have people that commit suicide because of these comments. And I think people have become so disconnected with life. Yep. You know, they just have a whole like, unlike, follow, unfollow kind of idea going on in their head. They forget that, hey, this is someone's life. Yeah. Like,
social media has made us antisocial.
Exactly. And
it's very ironic.
Exactly. And I'll be honest, like, some of the comments that I used to get, like, they really used to affect me. Like, I'll take a step back and be like, oh my gosh, like, like, am I a bad person?
Right. Almost made you question yourself.
Yeah, made me question, just like, what am I doing this for? Like, am I doing this because I like yoga, or am I doing it because I'm a narcissist? Like, it really makes you question things. And I think that's what people forget. It's just like, when you make comments like this, you're really affecting someone. I mean, luckily now like, it doesn't affect me as much. Like, yeah, that comment from that guy, yeah, it was kind of like, okay, wait, hold on, what?
Yeah, and I figured it affected you because
and the thing is, like, the guy doesn't know. Like, for me, one of the things he said was just like, oh, your father may be so disappointed in you. He doesn't know I come from a very abusive past with my father. He doesn't know that. So when I first read it, it was kind of just like, oh, crap. Maybe my father is disappointed in me because he, you know, used to do some bad things.
Wow.
So it's just like, people don't know.
Right.
And that's what I just really want people to think about before they leave these comments. And even women under certain other women's like friggin' pictures, like the things they say are horrible. Like, they don't think about it, like the effect that you have on someone's life. And that's one of the worst parts, I find.
And it's interesting because what I found kind of funny and confusing about his comment was his like he's saying the tattoo was degrading but sexy or something like that.
He was kind of like in between. He wasn't sure if he wanted to ask me out or he wasn't sure if he wanted to just
insult you. Like, it was like I was confused. I was completely confused.
I was confused too, and I think like I was just so lucky I was in a good mood that morning. I was just like, okay, let me just screenshot this and just put a powerful message out, because it's just like, this guy obviously has some work that he needs to attend to. Okay. And I think that's another thing that, like, these people that leave these comments, like, they could be going through stuff too. You know what I mean?
Actually, they are going through stuff. For you to be able to say those things, you have to be going through something.
Like, to really take the time to write something like that. Like, and that's why I just feel pity. Like, I can't even be angry. Like, yeah, I reported them to Instagram or whatever, because people like that don't deserve to have the internet.
No. And it's good to know that me staring at gals don't make me misogynistic.
No.
So let's go to
stare away.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, I was like, honestly, is this wrong? Like, I was just staring. If I stare at
no, I stare at women on Instagram too. Don't worry.
Okay, good. And I thought about them boys too. But anyhow, let's go to a pod that I don't think a lot of people like to talk about, right? And I don't think women look at it this way, but there's a way that women reduce their value without even realizing it when it comes to marriage, in my view. Because if you look at the conversations women have most of the time, it's like getting married or getting a ring is like the championship. Like, their life means absolutely nothing unless a man says, you are worthy to be my wife.
Oh, hell no.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think women don't even realize the value they take away from themselves by putting so much into a man proposing to them or marrying them. It's like, you have some women, like, I see the discussions or the arguments they have, like, well, I got the ring though, or I got married, or what you doing with your life, or how long y'all been together, he ain't marry you yet. It's like your life has no value unless a man says you are worthy to be by my side.
I know. And
is that not a form of it too?
Yes, it is. And I think as women, well, we need to be stronger.
Yeah.
Like, it's so sad, and you have women that really go through like life crises because they reach 30 and they ain't married yet. Yeah,
the clock is ticking, and then it's like like we spoke about earlier with the peer pressure. Their friends are like, they're talking about them, or like they really feel like something is wrong with me.
And I think that just as women growing up, I think that we're not really prepared to be independent. We're really not. It's just like we're kind of like pushed into that role where you need a man to get you places. Like, even they say like, oh, you're supposed to be a daddy's girl or whatever, or you're supposed to, have a man help you lift something, or a man help you do this. And I'm just like, wait, what? And even like, I find it even at work, like a lot of times, like when we take like the boat, like the ferry or whatever, women have to go on first. Because chivalry is not dead. Women have to go on first, and women get to go get seated first, and all the women get like first picks on the chairs. And I feel like things like that, it's cool or whatever. But I feel that things like that prepare us for dependency.
Yeah. Because
when the time comes and the boat's full, and the women come on the boat and there aren't seats, they're making men get up so they can sit down. And to me, that's crazy. So a couple weeks ago, I sat on the floor because there weren't any seats.
Really?
And they were just like, oh my God, what is she doing? How is she sitting on the floor? And I'm just like, it's just sitting on the floor.
Right.
And they're like, oh. And so this guy, he gets up and he's like, no, you can sit down. I'm like, no. It's just like, number one, you're a construction worker. This is probably the only time you're going to get to sit down. This 30 minutes. You're going to work from 9 to 5, busting your ass. And I'm a yoga teacher.
Right.
Like, I work hard, but obviously not as hard as a construction worker. So I understand.
How considerate of you, Alex.
And people look at me like I'm crazy for saying this because no, you're the woman. You're supposed to sit down and he's supposed to stand up.
Right.
And to me, that is insane. I don't understand how what you have between your legs determines that you're supposed to sit down. And to me, that only says, well, that just means the woman's weak. Like, the woman is supposed to sit down because she can't stand up for 30 minutes.
Right.
Because that's just too strong. That's just too hard on her legs.
Right.
Like, and I find that things like that, it just puts us into the box where we can't be independent. Because when we go on the boat, we want the men to stand up so we can sit down. When we go in the shop, we want to go to the front of the line instead of waiting.
Right.
And yeah, okay, it's cool every once in a while, but it comes to the point where you expect it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the dangerous
part. And that's
part.
when you become like defenseless. Like you can't fend for yourself at all. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I don't see it as crazy, like insane. I just see it as, I guess, courtesy. Like that's a tradition that I don't mind.
Courtesy. It is courtesy to a point.
Right.
But when it comes to you're getting used to it and you're saying, hey, you
right.
man, get up so I can sit down.
No, I have a problem with that. Like,
yeah.
And I say all that, like, even when it comes to relationships, I think when that entitlement gets in, that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, and so I think that whole dependency that it kind of pushes us into makes us think that, oh, well, I'm not something unless I have a man that is making money and, he gives me a big ring and that proves that he loves me and then I'm a good woman. And I'll just stay home and I'll cook for him. I'll have some babies for him. Like, that's not an...
But I think in this era, I think we're making progress, a lot of progress, when it comes to women being more independent in a lot of areas, because now you see a lot more women making more money than men, taking on a lot of roles that men would, traditionally take on. So I think we've made a lot of progress in that regard, but I haven't seen much in terms of, like I said, when it comes to the whole marriage thing and a woman's whole worth being whether or not she is a wife. I haven't seen much progress in that department. When it comes to professionalism, sure, but like career-wise, yeah, a lot of progress, independence, but that whole...
I think all of that still comes down to low self-esteem. Because a lot of women I find want to get married so they can have the big fancy wedding to show off. They can have the nice big ring to show off. And it's just a case of showing off. Yeah. It's a case of, my life is better than yours.
Right.
And that helps validate me with the feelings that I already had that I wasn't strong enough.
Easy. Spending money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people you don't like.
Exactly. And what is that? That's low self-esteem. That's insecurities. We have so many issues with insecurities in this country.
I agree.
It is insane.
And I think it's at the core of every single issue that we have. Our insecurity is at the core of each and every one of them.
Yes.
Because
and women especially, like, and I mean, like,
men too, because
men.
This is why men. In a lot of cases, men are worse. This is why they are saying these things about women. It comes from their own insecurity. It's like, like we said on the last one, like there was a time, and like I said, I'm guilty of it. I used to be like, and I've seen Facebook posts from some of my friends when it comes to women, and I guess how many people they've dated or whatever. But it was a point in my younger life where I was like sexual partners was a big thing. I need to know how much it got to be under this number. It can't be past this because this guy, you understand? Like these things were big deals.
Yeah.
But as you mature, you realize what does it matter?
I remember building up the courage to ask Mikey. I'm just like, how many people are you been with?
So you mean women even have that feel as well? I thought it wouldn't matter for women because men are
to women it matters. Well, not now, but back then it matters because you want to be special. Like you don't want to be with a man that's been with a lot of women.
Really?
Because you want to be special, number one, and number two, well, what really comes back to number one, insecurities.
Right.
You don't want him to think, oh, well, Shaniqua was better than you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't get it. I thought I would think, like, because in our society, we know men are allowed to sling all over the place, have however many gals, and women would, will seem to be accepted of it. At least I thought.
Yeah.
I think they may have an issue, but it's nowhere near the issue men have.
Oh yeah, it's not
women.
It's not as intense as how men feel about women.
Right.
It's definitely not, but women still care about the number.
Okay.
They still do.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, and it sucks that women have to lie. I think that's what sucks.
I said it last time. I said, listen, I can tell you right now, dude. Whatever number the girl give you, she lied.
They say times it by 3.
Yeah, she lied. She lied. I can tell you now, she lied, and I get it. I understand why.
Yeah,
it's because of the judgment. Like you cause her to lie,
and I think it's just so sad because like even now, like men think that if a woman has had like a lot of sexual partners, she's like loose physically.
Oh, I hate. It's like, and you hear these things from grown men.
It doesn't work like that.
These are not young men or teenagers these are grown, almost 40, over 40. But like grown men still believe these things.
But even you have it even happening the other way where men also assume. So, like, a lot of men would come to me and they'd be like, oh, well, you have all those pictures on Instagram, so I'm sure you have, like, you have a record.
And I'm just say a record like you're a criminal. Yeah, you
and I'm just like, and so when I tell them, I'm just like, no, like, I haven't had many sexual partners. And they're like, oh, no, you're lying.
You're lying, yeah.
And I'm like, no, seriously, like, I'm extremely picky.
Right.
And they're like, no. Like, I know. You have those pictures on Instagram. You pose in a bikini on the beach. You've had sex with a lot of people. Just like, you got me.
I don't get it. I can't even say the logic behind it because there's no logic behind it. It's just that, I guess, like I said, just this era that we live in where the internet is just this magic fantasy land where people can say whatever and be whoever they want to be and tell people whoever they feel they are. They can tell them who they are.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, and I can't. That's why I stay off the internet. I don't do.
The internet is a very hard place to be.
If you spend a lot of time on it, it can take a number.
You can't let it get to you.
No,
you can't. And the thing is, like, I have what, like, almost 13,000 followers on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot imagine what it must feel like to have like millions of followers, like to be Kim Kardashian or Rihanna or Amber Rose.
I don't think they read comments. You can't.
They do.
But it's so many. Like what do you like? You can imagine.
They do. And
I don't think so.
They of course they don't read all of them.
Right, but
trust me, I'm sure they skim through.
Maybe, I guess.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, even Rihanna. Rihanna replies to a lot of her comments.
Wow.
And she's telling people about their ass.
But you know what I would think it is? I would think, like, they have a lot. They still have friends. They're still regular people.
Yeah.
So they have friends or people that'll
and tell them.
Follow their timeline and make it known to them, hey, you see this? Or that's what I think happens. Like, I don't see, maybe they do, but I don't see them sitting there and actually going through. But I guess they do, they're human beings too. But I think a lot of outrageous stuff, like, people bring to their attention. people would say like, "Oh, you see what this person said about you," and then they would go.
And then you have things like they do like the screen caps, so like BuzzFeed will like look at all of like the negative and the positive remarks on like the Kim Kardashian picture or something. So they'll probably see it through that. But how I feel about it, I can only imagine how they must feel. Like, you really have to be strong. Like, some of the things that I see, it's just like, I have to be strong.
Yeah, you have to.
I have to. And the thing is, like, in the past, like, I let it get to me and, like, I'd overthink, or I wouldn't Instagram for, like, a week because I'm just like...
Wow.
And then you start to see the change, like... I'll like take a picture and I'll be like, oh no, that doesn't look good enough, or that I need to do that again. I need to do that again.
Wow.
And again and again and again, until the point it's just like you have like 50 pictures and none of them look good enough. And then you have to take a step back and you're like, okay, what the hell? Like, who am I doing this for? Am I doing this for the people, or am I doing this for me? And you have to realize you're doing it for you.
Right.
Like, I do what I do because it makes me happy and I love myself. I love me. I love my body. I love what I put forward. And that's why you do the social media. You don't do it because you want to make Jack, Sally, and John happy.
Yeah.
Or because Sally leave a bad comment and you're just like, okay, well, maybe I need to fix this.
We know you can't please everyone.
You can't.
It's not gonna happen.
You can't. Some people will like what I post, some people won't, and that's totally fine. Like, I'm not putting it forward for everybody in the world to like it.
Right.
Like, I started the whole thing just to monitor my progress. I didn't expect to get a lot of followers or anything of that. So,
and that's when it's the best, when you do it like it was organic.
Yeah.
You were just doing it, like you said, to monitor your progress. You weren't doing it to...
Yeah, like, if you look at the first sets of pictures that I took, they were horrible. Like,
but I mean, it's all a process. I have to go look. You probably deleted them.
No, they're still there. I haven't deleted them because I don't want to be that type of person. Like,
okay. Well, I mean, it's a part of the journey.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people only want to highlight the good parts, but all of that struggle, all of the rough parts.
I feel like everyone's going to scroll to the bottom of my page.
That's good. You get more traffic, more attention. But I mean, it's good. It's inspiring too. You never know who you may inspire.
Yeah.
Through that whole process.
And the thing is that's like one of the main things that I focus on with my Instagram, because I find, especially like with yoga, like, it's kind of saturated with like the stick thin white girl. And not to say that's not bad. Like, everybody can do yoga, but I feel like a lot of people don't think that thicker, curvier women, or even women of color, could do yoga. Right. And a lot of people have this whole idea that you have to be flexible, you have to be strong, you have to be this, you have to be that. But like, everyone can do it.
Well, you have to though. But you have to build up to that point.
You can build up to it.
You have to work to that
when
point.
I first started, I couldn't do all the things that I do now.
Right.
Like, I couldn't even touch my toes. Right. So like, to where I am now, like, it's all practice and progress, and not even just to tell people, like, you know, maybe you'll be a yogi, but just do whatever it is to just find what you're good at. You know what I mean? Like, just take time to look into yourself, to see what it is that you want to be, who you want to be, and like who you truly are, instead of focusing on what other people want you to be. Right. And I think that we spend so much time comparing ourselves to all the girls in the magazines, all the girls on the internet, all the girls around us. Women, like, we're beating ourselves down. Yeah. And it's just like, we don't spend enough time thinking about ourselves. Like, we want to impress the men, we want to impress the women, but it's just like, what do you really want? You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's just where it gets all muddy, because then a lot of times you have women that finally find, you know, what they want, and then you have men that say, okay, wait, now you're being too free and too strong. Like, what the hell? Like, you're a whore.
And I think it's a part of that may be because men want to maintain the power and the control.
That's what it is.
Because it's a power structure.
Yeah.
And anything they can do to keep women. There are a lot of men that feel like, and I hear it all the time, especially like at this point that we are at now in the Bahamas, you have this gender equality referendum and stuff coming up. The things you hear from men, it's like they feel like women want to just come up and take over the world. And it's like they have this fear. It's like, and I'm going to compare it. It's like when I hear racist white people speak about not just black people, but what they call minorities. They are legitimately afraid because they're going to be a minority over time.
Yeah.
They're going to be, and when you hear
Gonna
them
be more mixed people like me.
exactly. And when you hear them speak about that, it's like the world is coming to an end.
Yeah.
And this is how Bahamian men sound when they speak about just giving or women having the same rights as them. It's like, oh, these women, they want to take over and they want to do
Strong
this
women.
and that. But women don't understand the power they have, you know.
They don't.
I don't think women have a clue
They do
how
not.
powerful they are.
They do not, and I think that they would realize that when they see how scared men are. When
Yes,
they,
you can,
when they
it's
see
obvious.
powerful
You
women.
can see how powerful, and it's men do things mainly because of women.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Dave Chappelle say, if he could get a woman without a house, he wouldn't buy a house. He live in a box. He buy nice cars because he know women like nice cars. So women have a great deal of influence on society. However, it doesn't seem as though they grasp that
No,
and put it to use.
and that's why you have to separate yourself from the naysayers. You have to separate yourself from the people that say, no, don't go apply for that job, just be, something lower than that. Or no, don't ask for a raise. No, don't do that. That's not nice. You should be modest. You shouldn't free yourself. You shouldn't wear that. That's a little too out there for you. No, if you want to do it, just do it. Like 1, 2, 3, do it.
Yeah, just
like,
do it.
Don't think about what anybody else is gonna say or what anybody else is gonna do. Just do it. Like if you're not hurting anyone, totally fine.
Yeah.
Just do it. And I feel like some men out there are so scared of a strong woman. Like men, even like some, like I've had conversations with men and I'm very upfront. I'm very straightforward. If I don't like this guy, I went to a restaurant. It was last weekend, and this guy comes up to me, and I'm sitting there with my friends, and he comes up to me, and he's just like, so what's up? What you saying? Can I have your number? And I'm like, no. And he's just like, what? I'm like,
What?
no. And he's like, what do you mean no? I'm
How
like,
dare you?
I said, I mean no. And I also mean that you're interrupting my dinner right now.
Right.
So I would prefer if you just leave. And he was just like, oh, no, hold on. You know who I am?
Oh.
I'm like, I don't give two flying fucks who you are. Like, he's just like, oh, well, I'm the head captain. And I was like, I don't care. It's like, you're wasting my time.
Right.
You're not getting my number. So just go. And he's just like, oh, y'all gals, you're too confident. And I'm just like,
What? You say you're too confident.
I'm like, I'm just trying to save you time, buddy. Like, the time that you're wasting trying to talk to me, you could maybe be talking to someone else who might be interested. I am not. So please enjoy your night and just go someplace else. And he was like appalled. Like, how dare this woman be confident and tell me no?
But that says a lot, though. That says a lot about the mentality of some people. You're women too confident.
Yeah.
So that means that he does that. This is I'm going to guess that this isn't the first time he's done it. And it seems as though, I could be wrong, but it seems as though he gets reactions and favorable reactions that has him feeling entitled.
Oh, yeah.
Almost to the point where, like, woman, who you think you telling me no?
You have some men out there that would say, oh, you're saying no. That just means that you think that you're too good. Like, it doesn't mean that you're just honestly answering the question. It just means that you think that you're better than me, but you're not. So you need to remember your role as a woman and just calm down and give me your number.
Yeah, we call them rapists.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
but it's crazy the mentality that men have to feel like, woman, is you crazy? What he said he was the captain.
Yeah, he's like a captain of some like dock or marina or whatever.
So that means that works on some women. I guess. See, and that's the problem.
But that's the thing, like things like that don't even work on me. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care if you have some fancy job or drive a fancy car. I don't care about those things. Like, that doesn't move me. If I'm attracted to your personality, if I find you attractive or whatever, then yeah, cool. But I don't care what you have. Like,
Right.
if I've had many guys throw those things at me, and it doesn't make a difference.
Right.
Like, the caliber of people that I've had in my inbox, they vary to some very like high end people.
Okay.
That doesn't move me.
Right.
Like, it doesn't. Like, I feel that men nowadays think that they can just say, oh, I make this much and then that'll be it. Like,
Well, you know what it is. Again, look from the other side. It's a lot of women that
That would
do
do
affect. You see, so I think it's amazing, and I guess it just goes to show the power of women. That because you hear it all the time, you hear women, well, what he got? How much he is make? He got any car? He is do this, he do that. So again, it's a case of innocent suffering for the guilty, because we do have some materialistic women that if they hear this man is the head of this company or captain on this boat or make this amount of money, they can be like, oh, yeah.
And I guess you can't expect, I mean, I don't expect.
Because Remy costs a lot of money and, they need to get, they fix it. They ain't trying to wait.
Yeah, but I guess, like, naturally so. You can't expect all women to be, I guess, not.
Doesn't it suck?
Yeah.
I can tell you're frustrated. I know it must suck to be a woman in this. Trust me, I get it.
It's hard because, like, you spend so much trying to fight for, women empowering women, but then you still got women who just legit just want a thigh snack and a phone god.
I get it.
And and that's totally fine.
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine.
Like, I mean, if that's what you want, that's totally fine or whatever. But I don't feel that it's a man's job to decide what type of woman I am. I think that's what it boils down to. Like, you could be whatever type of woman you want to be. If that's a strong woman to you, go for it. But I don't think that it's a man's job to assume that, okay, just because she is do this, I mean, she's like this. You know what I mean? Or just because I want this from her, I could treat her like this. Like, no. I feel that we're in the day and age that we can equally say what we want. Like, for instance, if a man wants sex from a woman or whatever, just say it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're a proponent of that? Because there are some women that want you to kind of,
No, why would you want to lie? Like, I would much rather someone say, hey, you know what? I think it would be a great experience.
Some people, unfortunately, they need a good, comfortable lie.
I don't know. No.
The truth is very uncomfortable for some people.
Because, I mean, you never know. What if I'm thinking the same thing?
Well, I guess you do have some people that would shoot their shot like that. But I'm saying I know some women, even if it's your intent just to do that, they want you to kind of pretend as though you. I don't know.
That doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't to me either, but it's a reality.
But then when they finally give it up and then the guy goes, but the lie's not comforting anymore now, is it? When you had known in the beginning, if the guy just says, let's have a good night together.
Right.
And then you say, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's have that experience. And then you know what to expect.
Right.
I just feel that we're in this day and age where you should be able to communicate. That there should be communication in all aspects. If you're in a relationship, if you're in a one-night stand ship or whatever, like, or even if you're just friends, just communicate. And I feel like that helps iron out any kinks when it comes to people assuming the type of person that you are or choosing the type of treatment that you deserve.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, people ask me all the time, like, how do you feel like how people treat you because, you're on Instagram or whatever? And I was just like, well, for me, I kind of find that men talk to me in a manner that I'm just like a piece of meat.
This is on Instagram or if they ever run into you in person?
In person, yeah. Men talk to me like I'm a piece of meat. I've had so many men, and this sounds so bad, when they talk to me, they're just like, wow, I wasn't expecting you to be this smart.
Wow.
I'm like, wait, what? And then they ask me, oh, well, where'd you go to university? And I'm just like, University of Toronto. And they're like, what? That's the best university in Canada. How'd you go there? You're a yoga teacher. I'm like, whoa. Whoa.
Oh, man.
Like, you would be, like, surprised that the personality that people paint for me just because I'm on Instagram. That you have to be dumb You have to not have any ambitions.
No skill.
No skill.
No talent.
Nothing. Like, all you do is just cock up in a bikini.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And when they talk to me and they realize I'm a science geek, I watch anime, they're like, okay, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Who is this person? And I'm just like, maybe if you took the time to communicate,
Right.
you'd figure out who I am as a person, and then we can go from there. Instead of posting raunchy, nasty things under my profile and not even knowing, hey, is this woman a scholar?
But you know what I think that says? That says that the internet, let's say social media, has now become this fantasy land.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to a point to where these people don't even think that you are actually a real person. And I think that's what gives them license to say these things. Like, they really don't view you as an actual person. You are just a character in this fantasy land that is Facebook or Instagram, whichever social media that you frequent. I think that's what happens, and that's why they feel so comfortable launching these attacks. Because I could almost guarantee you would run into that very same person, and they would never say the things that they say to you in your face that they say on Instagram. So I think it's this fantasy world where they feel like no holds barred. This is just a character.
Yeah.
I can say whatever because this isn't a real person.
Yeah.
This isn't a real person. And I think that's what causes them to be able to say these ridiculous things. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately. Yes. So I guess you just, from here on out, you just have to look at it that way. These people, they just looking at it as this fantasy land, and they don't have the guts to say that to your face.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. That's true. I just feel like communication could just solve
I agree.
all of this.
Yeah, and all relationships, not just when it comes to, with a partner or something. That's in general. Human relations.
Exactly.
Just need communication.
We lack communication so much. Like, people don't express how they feel. People don't express what they think. And that also comes down to just not being able to express yourself.
Yeah, because, you're going to be judged, marginalized. It's just that people just need to be open and allow people to be who they are as long as they're not hurting anybody. Simple as that. And I think we could end on that. Let's end on a positive.
Let's end on a positive.
Yeah, let's end on a positive. People, leave people alone. And she is not going to wear a big, long dress on the beach because you don't wear it. If you have on your colorful Speedos when you go on the beach, don't judge anybody else for wearing a bikini. Exactly. Simple as that. Alex, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. This was awesome.
We have to do this again.
Yes.
Talk about some other stuff.
Yeah.
And until next time.
Peace.
Alrighty.
That was good. Yeah. And I didn't curse that much.